All right, so it appears I goofed up on the scheduling of the broadcast. No, it was not supposed to be 9:30 a.m. It was supposed to be 9:30 p.m. And I don't know why my phone is going crazy all of a sudden. And here we go, and we're going live on the TikTok. There we go. All right, so good evening, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday Night Live here on WrestleScope TV. Again, my apologies. I could have sworn I scheduled it for 9:30 p.m. and not 9:30 a.m. So I apologize for that. So we interesting Dynamite tonight. I was able to watch 95% of it tonight. Not in the studio, but still was able to watch most of the show tonight, which made me happy. Open up strong with Samoa Joe taking on his Joker, who ended up being Johnny, but not the Johnny we were all expecting. And I tweeted, if you had John Hennigan as your Joker on your bingo card, you were a liar. I don't think there was a single person that I saw that predicted that Johnny Elite was going to make his debut tonight. So good to see you, Lucas. Blake, yes, I was shocked. I had said on here for a week that I predicted Samoa Joe was going to end up getting screwed out of that quarterfinal match, that Jay Lethal and his goons were gonna do something to cost him the match. Now they did end up coming out after the match, at the end of the match, but Samoa Joe won clean, which really shocked. Both Jokers lost clean tonight. What does that tell you? Hi, Louie. Did you have to give away an arm to get your tickets? I heard tickets for that show were ridiculously expensive. I didn't look myself, but I had heard that they were super expensive. Yeah, it was coming down to Gargano, Cesaro, and Miro were the top three. I don't think John Hennigan, John Morrison, whatever name you want to call him, so you're thinking Joe's going to get past Kyle O'Reilly? Yeah, it would be interesting to see. I mean, Adam Cole has got to be going to the final. He has to be going to the final, you would think. It'll be interesting to see. How am I feeling? I'm tired. It's been a long day, but I'm feeling pretty good, actually. This is the longest period of time I've been home since 7:15 this morning. It's been one of those days. Wow. I hope you got good seats at least for that price. I mean, for a show like that, probably not. I'm sure, front row tickets and floor seats were probably, £1,000 or more, I'm guessing. Okay, so on the women's side, and again, boy, AEW they dropped the ball with the women's division again. Britt Baker ended up facing Maki Ito, which last night I had teased that I had seen a spoiler for who it was, and I didn't want to give a name, and Maki Ito was the name that I had heard. And I didn't want to put it out there, and I really like Maki Ito. I mean, she is my second favorite women's wrestler, Japanese women's wrestler behind Hikaru Shida. And I'm excited to see her back, but I didn't want to see her in that Joker spot. I really didn't. Oh my goodness. I just saw a picture of Steve Mongo McMichael, and oh my goodness, just absolutely terrible. What he's dealing with, he's been battling ALS for a couple of years. He's paralyzed from the shoulders down, requiring support with daily activities. Oh, just an absolute shame. Well, here I'm not to be a downer here, but I'm going to go ahead and share. This is from Wrestling News Source. They had uh, Deborah Marshall, former WWE superstar Deborah, and former wife of Steve McMichael, had posted this picture of Steve Mongo McMichael, and yeah, it's really, really difficult to see him in, and that, I believe that is Mike Singletary, um, NFL Hall of Famer, former Chicago Bear Mike Singletary, right there, who's obviously good friends with Mongo, but he has lost a lot of weight and just it is not looking good, and it's heartbreaking, um, because as a Green Bay Packer fan, um, you know Steve McMichael was a thorn in the side of the Green Bay Packers for a number of years, and then he ended up being a Green Bay Packer. And then he made his debut in WCW and wrestling, and I mean he was decent. He was never that great. He was part of one of the versions of the Four Horsemen, and it is just a shame to see him like this now. And ALS is such a horrible affliction that, I mean, it absolutely destroys people. And it's just heartbreaking to see this. Oh no, Marcus, no, I didn't. I didn't see that news about Hacksaw. Oh, actually, Wrestling News Source, yeah, they just posted it here, or they posted it earlier. Yeah, back in December, he announced he was cancer free following a prostate cancer diagnosis, but he released in a video on Facebook that his cancer has returned and he's going to need another 8 weeks of radiation treatment. Um, Boy, this is just this is depressing. This really is. I mean, it really hits home when you start seeing this kind of thing. And yeah, and then obviously, yeah, you're dealing with a whole issue with Virgil, with his health issues, and he's dealing with early onset dementia. And boy, it really makes you begin to realize that these people that we see on our TVs and watch, have watched over the years, that they're still human and they still go through all the same kind of things that we go through. And we're seeing it with Steve McMichael, with Jim Duggan, and with Virgil, and so many others. And it's really hard to see. It really is hard to see. Um, all right, let's switch gears. Back to Louis and his tickets. That's not bad though. I mean, you're one floor, you're not on the floor, but you're one tier up from that. So those are still pretty good seats. Those are good seats. And you got free beer out of it. Is it one of the beer? Was it one of the Beer 52 crates? Yes, I'm familiar with Beer 52. We can't get it here in the United States. Marcus, why aren't you going to SmackDown in Seattle? Why aren't you going with them? Yeah, Jimmy Rave. I wasn't overly familiar with him, but that was a tough one. That was a tough one for a lot of people too. Yeah, I wish Beer 52 or something like that was available here in the States. I love what they offer, but we can't get it here. I mean, that would be something I would sign up for. Absolutely. Okay, Lucas. No, he is not. I debunked this one last night because he was at a signing appearance over the weekend, and he was asked directly about the match with Ric Flair and FTR and the Rock and Roll Express in July. He said, "Nope, I was asked and I turned him down." So yes, Lucas, that is true. Spotted Cow is only in Wisconsin, but if you really want it, there may be ways to get it. Just saying. Oh, Marcus, he already got the tickets. Wow, $225 each. That's crazy. Yes, Brody Lee, that one, because nobody knew. I mean, they didn't make public that he was sick. He just kind of disappeared off of TV, and then all of a sudden, we're told that John Huber passed away. I mean, they kept that one super quiet. But yeah, that one was a really tough one to deal with. Obviously, the sudden deaths of Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit before the truth of the story came out. Owen Hart. I mean, good grief! I remember where I was when the Owen Hart thing happened. I was at, and Brian, I don't know if you're in here. I was at Romine's High Pockets in Milwaukee with my wife, and somebody else is there. I think Brian might have been with us. I think it might have been him. And we were watching the pay-per-view there. And Jim Ross came out and announced it that Owen Hart had fallen to his death. Yeah, Pillman too. Pillman was a tough one. All right, yeah, let's talk about this. They were leading towards it. I'm wondering if they're not going to call it Blood and Guts this year. Because what? I really enjoyed that segment. Because Jericho did such a great job of some callbacks and his certain things that he was taking shots at people. He's really good at that. And then when Regal took over, and the whole thing about the toothbrush, I mean, I was driving, I just about swerved off the road when he said that. And then Moxley is Moxley when he gets onto the mic, but how they were going to how he was going to say it's going to be the third ever stadium, and Moxley just interrupts him, just stops him like, thank you. And I don't know why they didn't say it was blood and guts. And maybe they will. Yeah, Jericho mentioned the eye for an eye, you know. Yeah, I had forgotten about Santana and Moxley and that spike. And how is a much better eye for an eye match? Okay, Brian. Yep. See, my memory for things like that is not that great. But yeah, you were. Does Romine still show the wrestling pay-per-views? I don't know if they still do or not. Wait, which one are you talking? Seth and Mysterio? I mean, that one was that was like the worst part of the Thunderdome pandemic era, right there. But how about Jericho talking about peeing in Regal's tea? Wait, you think they're closed? Oh, I'm gonna have to get off the freeway early tomorrow and drive by there. Yeah, Seth and Mysterio. That was yeah. Some of the things they did, oh, that's right. That actually was pre-Thunderdome. That's right. Because that was actually within the first couple of weeks of the shutdown. That's right. Oh man, I don't even want to relive any of that stuff from back then. That just that's not good. So, anyways, they didn't officially call it Blood and Guts. I don't know if it's going to be an actual Blood and Guts match or not. We shall see. It'll be interesting. Somebody did ask a question here about. Okay. Let me see. I have not read through the entire. Okay, so let's see. That was from yesterday. So Fightful Select did come out with a story on backstage reactions to Sasha and Naomi walking out. Okay. Yeah, everything is just kind of bouncing back and forth here with this. There was the comparison to the Stone Cold Steve Austin situation, but I guess the biggest complaint that talent is having right now is the fact that Sasha and Naomi walked out during the show. And, Austin pretty much just he no-showed the show, I believe. I don't even think he showed up in that city. I think he no-showed. Then obviously there's all the talk about, Sasha's not liked backstage, blah, blah, blah. The thing is, there's so much back and forth going on with this, and it all depends on the person you talk to right now within the company. The big thing is Naomi and Sasha, neither one of them have made any public statements. Yeah, so they haven't. WWE has not officially said anything about what they are going to be doing with the women's tag team titles. I don't even know. Oh, I didn't even notice that on TV tonight. CM Punk was wearing a pro-choice t-shirt, which explains why in the segment at the end of the Hangman match that they were only showing his head. They weren't really showing much of his shirt. Yeah, it was probably a TNT decision to not create not create controversy with that. I'm not going to say anything about the situation because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be ripping apart CM Punk for it. Hey, it's his personal opinion. I can agree with it, disagree with it, but you know what? It's his opinion and he has his right to it. That's all I'm going to say about the situation. So as far as Sasha and Naomi, we still don't know anymore. We really don't know anymore about what's going on. All I'm going to say is I'm not taking sides in the matter right now. If it's true that they were unhappy with creative decisions, I still don't think walking out was the right thing to do. But wait, Jeff, which WrestleMania moment? Are you talking about Sasha? I mean, a lot of it did not have to do with the six-pack challenge last night. It's the fact that they feel like those women's tag team championships are being underutilized. And they never really have been a focal point. And, this is the second time Sasha Banks has held those titles. She held them with Bayley. And, they did some decent stuff when they were the champions, but it's never really been pushed. They just don't have a deep enough roster of women right now to be able to have a Raw champion, a SmackDown champion, and women's tag team champions. What they should have done, and this was brought up a couple of years ago, is they should have had the NXT women's tag team champions unify with the WWE champions and have that set of belts travel between all three shows. That means you're pulling in even more talent and giving some younger talent an opportunity. That's what they should have done. I don't think they're going to crown new women's tag team champions. I think they are just going to quietly make them disappear for a little while. And that's it. I don't think they're going to address it on TV anymore. I would be shocked. But then again, it's WWE. Actually, she has been cleared. From what I understand, she has been cleared. They don't have anything in creative for her. Yeah, she was out with an ACL. She's been cleared for, I want to say she was medically cleared right before WrestleMania. And how do you not have anything creative for Bayley? There are so many things. The fact that she is not in a feud with Ronda Rousey right now shocks me. It shocks me. Maybe she'll show up this week. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of plans that are changing. Oh, Jeff, that's right. Yeah, Naomi winning the was it the SmackDown Women's title in Orlando because that was her hometown at WrestleMania. That's right. Yeah, the whole women's division is kind of up in the air right now, especially on the SmackDown side with what happened on Monday night. So, yeah, I don't think we're going to see Shayna ever be a tag team champion because I think, I think, like I said, they're going to quietly make those belts disappear for right now until this situation gets taken care of, because I don't think WWE is going to want to talk about it anymore. Bayley was doing promos for WWE at the Barclays Center. Okay. It doesn't surprise me. Yes, it was really cool seeing Johnny Elite. Again, it was a shocker. Nobody called it. I haven't seen anybody that called it. And it was a really, the fact, what surprised me the most, Samoa Joe and John Hennigan have never had a match against each other. As long as those two guys have been wrestling and they've been with a lot of the same companies, they've never wrestled each other. I'm shocked. I am truly shocked by that. Hi, Abby. Good to see you again. Yes, Naomi was supposed to win the six-pack challenge, face Bianca at Hell in a Cell, and reportedly lose. And then Sasha was supposed to go on and end up losing to Ronda Rousey. So, Louis, is that coming actually from Ringside News? Because Ringside News is one of those sites, one of those accounts that some of the stuff you can believe what they're writing, and some of it is just a bunch of, it's a giant bag of manure. And I don't know anybody. I could do a poll right now. I bet you 100% would say no, they don't want Sammy Guevara to be the TNT champion again. I want him as far away from that title as possible. They need new blood around that title. Sammy does not need to be around it. Oh, well, Sammy is delusional, okay? He is delusional if he thinks fans want him around the TNT championship again. After last night, yes, I was expecting Maki Ito because it was spoiled by an account that I follow. Somehow he found out. I don't know how this guy found out, but he did. So technically, yes, I kind of did know. Again, I agree. No offense to Maki Ito. I was excited to see her back in AEW, but not in the role of the Joker. That was disappointing. And quite honestly, that match was not that good. It could have been so much better. And I'm wondering if part of it was I think the MJF Wardlow segment went longer than it was supposed to. I think the Jericho Appreciation Society William Regal segment went longer than it was supposed to. So they had to cut time somewhere. And they had to shorten up that match because it was down to that match and the main event. Yes, the casino ladder match, which I always forget. The men's match is at Double or Nothing. The women's is at All Out, right? Which I wonder if they're even going to do that this year, because they haven't talked about it at all. Well, think about it. We're 10 days away. We're 10 days away from Double or Nothing. And we have Punk versus Page for the AEW Championship. We have Thunder Rosa versus Serena Deeb for the women's title. We have, now we know it's a triple threat for the AEW tag team titles, with it being Jurassic Express taking on Swerve and Keith Lee, taking on Starks and Hobbs. We're going to have the finals on the men's and women's side of the Owen Hart Foundation tournaments. We're going to have the 10-man blood and guts and whatever match. Am I missing anything? They haven't announced anything for Jade Cargill yet, which you would think Jade Cargill should have a match on that card. They haven't announced anything for Scorpio Sky, which you would think that the TNT Championship would be defended. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's going to be a battle royal. It would be cool, though. A casino battle royal would be cool. You know, it would be a great way to get a lot of talent onto the show then. You know, get them that pay-per-view payday. Yeah, I don't know, because I mean, usually they have qualifying matches for the Casino Battle Royal, and obviously with the tournament going on right now, they're not going to do that, or the Casino Ladder match. So I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, typically, you know, these shows are 4 hours, so between Rampage this Friday, which obviously just taped tonight, and I haven't seen any spoilers come out yet for it. I may have to actually, typically I avoid Rampage spoilers, but I'm thinking this week I'm gonna have to look at any spoilers that come out, because I won't be able to watch the show until Saturday morning, and I know I'm going to end up seeing stuff online. So I think I'd rather know now and know if anything big comes out of it. I think it's going to be Starks and Hobbs. I think it's going to be Starks and Hobbs, and they're going to have Keith Lee and Swerve chasing after him. You know, you need to have, because think about it, you've got a babyface world champion, a babyface women's champion. The two quote unquote mid card titles are held by heels. There's been babyface tag team champions for a while now, since Jurassic Express won it. It's time for a heel team to have the tag team championships. And you know, Starks and Hobbs have been doing a really good job for the last year plus. Yeah, Ricky Starks has the FTW championship, but you know, that really doesn't count towards anything. I see Keith Lee and Swerve eventually winning those titles sometime over the summer, but I I truly believe it's going to end up being Starks and Hobbs winning it. Okay, I missed that story. I didn't see that. Yeah, here we go. Wow. So according to this story from Fightful Select, first of all, it's going to be a reality series. It's not going to be a wrestling show for OVW, which is interesting, but it's going to be on either Netflix, Hulu, or Amazon Prime. Netflix is obviously looking for new things to be able to draw fans in. Hulu continues to be strong. Amazon Prime continues to be strong. Okay, I'm just reading here. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about actually shows, actual wrestling programming. It's just going to be the reality show. So that announcement could be coming out any day now. And I think it's interesting, that Ohio Valley Wrestling is going to be doing kind of a behind the scenes thing where they're going to be following certain talent around through the summer. I don't know if this is going to be leading to something else, but it'll be interesting to see that yet another company, and I mean this one is on the much smaller end, will be getting some sort of a streaming deal. I mean, it's great for Ohio Valley Wrestling, and if it's on any of those three services, I have all three, so I will watch. I will definitely watch. I disagree. I think we're going to get a Jungle Boy heel turn. I think we're going to get a Jungle Boy heel turn. Nobody would be expecting that to come. All right. It has been a really long day for me. I am going to get going. I'm going to have a little bit more time tomorrow night to talk about more stuff. We'll see. Maybe, just maybe, we'll have some more news concerning the whole, the whole thing with Sasha and Naomi. Yeah, it's hard to believe, isn't it? She looks so sweet and innocent, but she's got the mouth of a sailor. It is quite sad how much she swears, but yeah, still love Maki Ito. All right. Who do you subscribe to, you or me? All right. I'm out of here, folks. Have a great night. 78 days in a row. We're closing in on 80. 80 is going to be Friday. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do on Friday. I think I have an idea of what I'm going to do, and I'm not going to be really thrilled with it, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to suck it up, and I'm going to do it. So I'll let you guys know tomorrow night. Have a great night, everybody. We will talk to you tomorrow at hopefully a little bit of an earlier time. These later nights, and for some of you guys, it's early morning where you are. It's getting a little tough, so we're going to be on to a little bit more of an earlier time tomorrow before we go absolutely crazy on Friday night. So have a great night, everybody. We will talk to you tomorrow, and let's see what the world of wrestling brings us for day number 79.